Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and we are having a boomtown meltdown, especially in places like Austin and Boise. And if you think back at the massive equity growth in just 2 years and the massive migration of out-of-town buyers and the migration on top of that of investors, it should be no surprise that both Boise and Austin are some of the first metro cities to fall and to fall the hardest. And here's the thing, guys, with tech layoffs continuing, more than likely places like Austin and Boise with a high migration of tech workers are going to suffer the largest and sharpest equity declines in the near months to come. The astonishing thing, guys, is the price declines are already happening without hyper inventory and without a recession, contrary to what so many experts advised us. So today we're going to dig into both of the cities and try to figure out a little bit more of the reasons why they went up so high in equity and why they are going down so quickly in home equity. But you guys, remember, I'm not your financial advisor, even though we may want that, even though my bio is as a realtor, loan officer, instructor, continuing education instructor in all things real estate in Texas. But this is my personal YouTube channel where I get a rant about life. I get a rant about being overworked, frustrated parent, really tired of renting, right? Really had some horrible mistakes in the past that I have paid for. And I want to teach you guys the same lessons that I learned, but not the hard way. I don't want you guys to learn the hard way. So anyways, guys, for my desire to train you guys and teach you guys without learning the hard way, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't leave me hanging. Please, guys, shoot me a comment below. But regardless, you guys, let's get started on this video right now. So how we're going to start this video is by me accessing a Redfin article. But after that, I'm going to access a Fred economic data chart so that I can show you guys normal price decline from Q4 to Q1. So normally we do have price decline seasonally from Q4 to Q1. And that's why I keep telling you guys, like, my buy target date is Q1 of 2023. If I could pick like a perfect date where it wasn't my primary residence, I would probably say Q1 of 2024. But regardless, guys, we're going to jump into a Redfin article that's titled, "Home Price Growth is Cooling Fastest in Pandemic Boom Towns Like Austin and Boise." Places where home prices shot up due to out-of-towners moving in with big budgets are now seeing prices rapidly decline. Home price growth has slowed fastest in pandemic boom towns, including Austin, Phoenix, and Boise, as high mortgage rates in an uncertain economy deter would-be buyers. Austin's median price per square foot was 1.3% year over year in October. So it was up 1.3% year over year. It's not long before it's going to have year over year decline. That's down from 24%, you guys, year over year in February, when mortgage rates were still hovering under 4%, near record lows. And in Phoenix, price per square foot was up 6% from a year ago, down from nearly 29%. This is crazy, 29% in February. And there's still people that won't acknowledge this. This is shocking. Those 23% point drops are the biggest among the 99 most popular U.S. metros from February 2022 to October 2022. We compared October to February because in many U.S. metros, that's when the housing market was near its peak in terms of demand and competition. So real quick, guys, let me go into why this happened to Boise and Austin. And essentially what happens is when jobs open up, like tech jobs, when tech jobs open up in a certain metro area, a lot of times what happens is that brings in more wealthy, comparatively more wealthy than the native. So wealthy home buyers that are out of state. So like from California, for example. So a whole bunch of people move from more expensive areas to boom towns. And essentially what that does in turn, guys, is it absolutely wrecks all of the natives that are used to a certain type of price growth in Austin and Boise. So in other words, on top of that, it's actually compoundingly worse, because on top of that, when investors start to figure out that home price growth is happening in a specific area, there's going to be more demand for investors. So not only did they have a mass migration of like out of towners, they also had a mass migration of investors. And again, you guys, that's compoundingly bad because it prices out so many of the locals and so many of the natives. And that's why there's so much hate in like Florida and Texas from Californians, for example, because people that are migrating to like more affordable states, like comparing California to Texas, so many people are migrating from California to Texas that places like Austin are becoming like California, overvalued and unaffordable. So it's really, really a bad thing in my opinion. And it really hurts places like Boise and Austin because they're not particularly giant metro areas. So it takes a handful of people to essentially migrate to a certain area to basically wreak havoc, for all of the natives that are used to living there. It's a problem, guys, and I don't know how to fix it. Maybe you guys do. Comment below and let me know how you think that we should fix the problem of migration, or even if it can be fixed. And I don't think it can be, because people have a right to move, right? People have a right to move. Either way, let's jump back into the article. Now, this is really cool, guys. This is ranked by biggest declines in price per square foot. So here's the top metro areas with actual price decline. Obviously, you guys know that I have been sounding the alarm for quite some time, and I've done a lot of analysis on Austin. Austin is number one at 23 points, down from February to October. And this is I think this is price per square foot. See, it says price per square foot up here. So 23 points going down in price per square foot in Austin. Number two city, you guys, on here is Phoenix. So Phoenix down 23 also. San Jose comes in at number three. And you can see this negative here. This represents, guys, negative equity year over year decline. So this is year over year negative equity. So anyone that bought in San Jose in 2022 lost money on average. On average, 1.6% is actually a lot more than that. But it's very interesting to look at the year over year data. Now, number four is Las Vegas. We've been looking at Las Vegas a lot, followed by Boise. That's number five. Oakland, Sacramento, Riverside, Colorado Springs, and then followed by Seattle. And you guys may remember that, Seattle is one of the only metro areas that Dave Ramsey pointed to and essentially said that Seattle is the only metro area essentially that's crashing because of horrible crime. So that narrative really doesn't work because we have a ton more cities, you guys. That's where you got to be really careful, who you listen to, because honestly, the reality is Dave Ramsey sells leads to loan officers and or realtors, insurance. This guy sells so many leads to so many people. He has to sell you on buying a house or he can't make money. At least that's how I'm seeing things, because I get advertised all the time to buy his leads and how great these leads are, right? I apologize. Nevertheless, you guys, I'm just saying there's a lot more than just Seattle that's having price declines. And I hope you guys realize that, especially if especially if it's the first time watching my channel. Be careful the narrative that is in mainstream, because generally the narrative is designed to make those companies more money. Okay, so the article goes on. Austin and Phoenix, both places where home prices soared during pandemic-era home buying frenzy as remote workers flocked from expensive coastal cities to more affordable Sunbelt destinations. Las Vegas, Boise, and Sacramento are among the top 10 metros with price growth is slowing or even declining. It doesn't have declining fastest. Phoenix, Austin, and Las Vegas were among the metros that gained the most new residences in 2021. Astonishing. And Phoenix and Las Vegas and Sacramento all consistently ranked on Redfin's list of most popular destinations for homebuyers moving in from out of town. Boise and its suburbs have been among the fastest growing city in the U.S. over the last few years, attracting many new residents from California. Out-of-towners with big budgets helped drive up home prices in those popular destinations in 2021 and 2022. Home prices have increased more than 30% over the last 2 years in Phoenix, Austin, and Boise, with a typical home now selling for nearly $500,000 in all three. The forces slowing the housing market, such as high mortgage rates, are having an outsized impact on places like Boise and Austin that saw home prices skyrocket over the last few years. Home prices can only rise by double digits for so long before the growth becomes unsustainable. High rates and stumbling tech stocks are making it unsustainable quite quickly, especially in destinations popular with tech workers. Plus, many of the out-of-towners with big budgets who wanted to move into these places already have. The pandemic home buying boom drove home prices up so much that her area has become unaffordable for many locals, and she noticed migration into the area and investment purchases slowing significantly. This is good. Even though affordability is a concern, in many ways we are in a buyer's market. Some first-time home buyers finally have the opportunity to purchase a home without competing with out-of-towners and investors because prices and rates are high and a lot of buyers are offering below asking price, negotiating with sellers on a rate buy-down, or considering new construction because many builders are offering significant incentives, like I've always been saying, including rate buy-downs to offload their inventory. And you guys, the really interesting thing is if we compare not from February to now, if we compare June to now, those numbers are going to be much worse. I don't know why they're going February, because even on their own data, the peak is clearly in June. So it's really weird, right? Like who's writing these articles on Redfin? It seems like every once in a while their authors contradict each other. I don't get it. It is what it is. I would have compared June because that's clearly the peak according to their data to right now, but they didn't do that. So more than likely what I'm telling you guys, this data is worse than what they're saying. Either way, let's finish out the article. So this is an interesting chart down here, you guys. This is US metro areas where price growth is still accelerating. And I want to point out that there is only 5 left. So there's only 5 out of 99 of the biggest metro areas that are still seeing some type of price growth. The 4 cities are Albany, New York, Bridgeport, McAllen, Milwaukee, and Wilmington. These are the 5 metro areas here that are kind of holding out and being a little bit stubborn, but that's very interesting, guys. We only have 5 more metro areas on that list. So in other words, 93 of the top metro areas right now, 93 of the top 99 metro areas right now, price declines. So like, who's not saying there's price declines, right? Like who says that there's no price declines or no crash? And another thing, I really hate when people say we're not going to have a crash, we're going to have a correction, because the thing is, you have to first define crash and also a correction. First, define those things so that I can better understand what you're talking about, right? And you guys probably have heard the same thing. I mean, it's like, no, we're not going to have a crash. You're foolish. We're having a correction. Well, what's the difference, right? What's the difference? Because historically, there's just a crash. So what is this new terminology, correction, right? It is what it is. To me, it's the same thing. All right, I'm just going to say a correction and crash. To me, it's the same thing. Let me know what you guys think. But let me access Fred economic data so that you guys can see what to expect from Q4 of this year to Q1 of 2023 as far as home prices. Because usually, guys, home prices seasonally go down in Q1 of a preceding year. So I want to show you guys that right now. So the way I'm going to attempt to show you that is by accessing Fed economic data, median sales price for houses sold in the United States. So right now I only have a 5-year view, but I want to point out, guys, that usually, it's usually always from Q4, as you can see here, to Q1, we have price decline. Okay, so usually you can almost guarantee. So in 2018, same thing happened. So if also we go back to 2017, you can see from Q4 to Q1, we also had price decline. Now, after that, things got a little bit crazy. So let me extend this to a 10-year outlook, guys. And let's go back a little further and see if we can find any more trends. So here's 2015, and it's not, it's not a lot, but you can see the same thing happened in 2015. Home prices went down from Q4 to Q1. Okay, so that does happen. And you can also see here, guys, this is 2014. So you got Q4 to Q1, home prices go down. So it's very, very interesting. Now that doesn't always happen, guys, but it is a seasonal trend. So, again, the reason why I'm saying that is because I told you guys my target buy date is Q1. It's February, right? And that's the reason why, because generally you get the best deals in Q1, right? Generally you do, or even at the end of the year. It takes effort, right? The more effort you put in, usually the better deal you're going to get. So again, That's why I'm saying February historically that's when the price, declines happen. So on top of normal seasonal price declines, we have all of this quantitative tightening price decline as well. And again, you guys, that's why I plan on purchasing in February. Now, in conclusion, if you have the ability to move wherever you want around the nation, more than likely you're going to get the best deals and the best bang for your buck in high growth areas like Austin and Boise, because more than likely they will have the largest equity price drops from peak. And they are already. And also, guys, remember, more than likely those price drops are going to continue into 2023. So if it's me and I can move anywhere that I want, I'm going to probably start looking at those two cities and decide whether or not I want to put more time and more research. Because remember, I'm on the sidelines waiting to find a deal of my dreams. And here's the other thing, I'm also ready to purchase right now. And the thing is, guys, is you should be ready too, because we don't want to stay on the sidelines. We don't want to get trapped in renting, but also we don't want to get trapped in owning a house. So we have to be very, very cautious moving forward with purchasing real estate, because right now it's a lot of crazy stuff. There's a lot of dust in the air. And until that dust settles down, it's not really easy to determine for normal people when the right time to buy is. And that's why I'm trying to lead that forefront. And that's why I am personally not going to recommend purchasing until I have started that process myself. Now, other than that, you guys, I really hope you guys got some value, insights, and perspective from today's video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, I wish you luck and I hope you win.